Today I'm going to talk about how to drop resistance. Resistance blocks your fear, wondering if you can ever have what you want, and just a general belief of unworthiness. Now, this may sound like a dream come true, but it's totally possible. It is not even super difficult, at least not complicated. In order to work on yourself in the way I'm describing, what I'm talking about is fundamentally reprogramming yourself, your belief structure, into one of being worthy, believing that anything you want you can have, that you're a serious person and you deserve everything, and that the things you want or choose, whichever term makes more sense to you, and your own personal authenticity, whether you're a silly person or you're a very serious person or you just have little habits and quirks that seem strange to others. Learning to become perfectly okay, and not just okay but proud that you are the way you are. And the way you do this is through subconscious reprogramming for the most part, and this usually starts at the self-worth level. That means get a guided meditation that specifically targets self-worth and listen to it for at least a month. Follow its promptings, do visualizations, and this will be the start. Now, I'm not going to lie and say you're going to get all this tomorrow, because it's just not going to happen. There is virtually no way that you're going to have this done in a week. The brain does not change that quickly. And if you're looking for lasting change, then you need to put in the effort and time. And I've tried to rush this process myself, and it does not work. If anything, it makes the process go longer, because it builds resistance by trying to force it. Maybe if I do affirmations or guided meditations 20 times a day instead of 2, then it'll go quicker. 20, that's 10 times more than what you're usually supposed to be doing. Then shouldn't that make it go faster? That makes sense, right? But it doesn't work that way. Now, you can do stuff that will enhance and speed up the process. For instance, if you wire in new reference experiences, specifically dealing with your biggest memories of where things went wrong. For instance, if you have a thought that I'm going to approach that guy or girl, depends on who you are, and I'm going to ask them out, and then you feel like massive anxiety, it's got to be coming from somewhere. So you can start asking yourself questions. It's like, when was the first time I felt like this? Where does this coming from? And see what comes up. Because it's coming from some sort of reference experience. And in order to wire new ones, you need to go out there, and this is just this case of romantic type relationships, but these generally speaking bring up a ton of resistance. So even if you're scared, go out there and ask someone out, and just be blunt about it. Don't waste your time. I mean, chit chat for a couple seconds, but if you want, but ask them out regardless of what they say. It really doesn't matter. I mean, if they say yes, great. If they say no, great. Just ask them out, because you're not there for them. You're there for you. You're there to prove to you that those memories of fear and rejection are no longer you. So if you do something enough times, fear will go away. It just becomes natural. Like if you're afraid to ask people out, for instance, and you go out and in the course of the next week you ask 25 people out, 30 people out. Yeah, the first time you're going to feel a lot of resistance, second time some resistance. By the time you're the 12th and 13th time, you're going to be feeling way less resistance because it's going to be starting to wire in a little bit of a habit. It just becomes, there I go again, asking someone out. It's like you really don't care what they say so much as you're just trying to get it done. You're just kind of get through the numbers. And you remember specifically that you're there for yourself, not for them. So by wiring in new reference experiences on whatever you're scared of, really, you're going to teach yourself that whatever you're afraid of, you're not afraid of because you're going to do what you're afraid of. And I'm not saying any of this stuff is going to be easy, because if it was easy, you would have done it already. And maybe you just needed to hear it straight up in order to put something into place. Fear is completely in the mind, and I know how crippling fear can be. All the what ifs can, send you to your knees trying to make it stop. But that's just like the ego mind. That's all the fear tactics used, trying to keep you safe. If someone tells you no, you ask them out, hey, you want to go out? And they tell you no, your mind is like trying to save you from that pain. But wait, they didn't hit you over the head with a club. All they did was say no. Is that really pain? Or is it just an illusion? It's not real. They didn't physically harm you. So the only pain exists is in your mind. So let's change it. Put in the time and effort. And it really is about time and effort. That is inner work. Learning to be completely comfortable with yourself. Alone, or in a group, or in a relationship. That you are the start and the end of your world. Everything else is just an enhancement to it. But you are the core of your own world. And you focus there, you'll reap amazing benefits. No one can do this for you. Only you can do it. You got yourself into the position you're at now, and you surely can get yourself out. You have the power to do so. We all do. It's just making the choice every single day that I choose me, rather than letting someone else's bitterness or limitations or their own limited beliefs hold you down. If you want to know more about how to deal with people who try to hold you down, look at my How to Deal with Toxic People video. It's pretty plain what to do with people like that. You chuck them quick. They drag you down. They're not worth keeping around. Have a wonderful day, and I will continue my blockage videos tomorrow.